Tonight, America's 250th birthday has been darkened by division amongst its people. Can these United States stay united for another 250 years? Find out tonight on America, the Podcast, the animated series.
Hello, America! It's America, the Podcast!
I can hardly believe I'm celebrating my 250th year of life as the embodiment of an only hope for America.
Aren't you technically 290?
Well, yes, but since I was transfigured into the embodiment of this fair nation after speaking the final version of the Declaration of Independence into existence, I consider my true birthday to be the 4th of July. Irregardless, are you saying the entire world can take Ozempic, but I can't shave 40 years off of my already canonically complicated life?
Yeah, fair enough. It really is a shame the country is so divided for the 250th anniversary.
Oh, the good people of these United States aren't as divided as you'd think, my good man. We just need to work through a few hundred different issues, but we'll unite once again, I assure you.
I don't know, man. With everything going on, what's the point of even trying to stay united?
Well, Timothy, that is indeed a question every American should ask themselves, because the time for weak questions is over and the time for tough questions is nigh, which brings me to my very important segment, Tough Questions. Tough questions. Should America get a divorce? Well, that is indeed a very tough question. It's not like we aren't attractive to other countries anymore. Plus, we've been looks-maxing for years, mostly by hitting ourselves in the face. But then again, our interstate relationship has gotten a tad complicated the past decade, which has caused a lot of Americans to question our union. So, what happened? Well, here's the thing. Gather round, kids. You see, when tens of millions of people in a country disagree with another set of tens of millions of people in the same country regarding moral, political, or even spiritual issues, while another 90 million people in that same country say they don't pay attention to politics or thought Kamala Harris would start World War III, crash the economy, or any number of things that have already happened under the second Trump presidency, well, those people might decide it's time to part ways in an attempt to reconcile their differences. What would that look like, you are absolutely asking? Well, for that tough question, I will be entertaining Marjorie Taylor Greene's past desire for red and blue states to go their separate ways. For the sake of visualizing, I will be using the 2026 party affiliation map for U.S. governors since it is the most straightforward, and at the rate things are going, all of the maps will look a lot more blue after November 2026 as it is. And if you disagree, let us know in the comments. Of course, we won't agree with you, but we do love the engagement since it pushes my perfect videos deeper into your feed, and my very important words deeper into your psyche until one day you leave the MAGA cult and join my cult, which does come with a t-shirt, but it's a one-size-fits-all, so if you're a small person, I don't know, you can use it as a nightshirt, I guess. Anyway. On a nationwide scale, something like a red and blue state trial separation could look like states refusing to send their tax dollars to the federal government, something the federal government itself already tries to do when states make them mad. In a more radical move, states could also attempt to cut off trade with their neighboring states while seeking alliances abroad. And considering Republicans are currently in full control of the federal government, we can theorize what it would look like if those godless blue states started to withhold their billions of tax dollars. The answer? Not great. Out of the top 10 states that provide the federal government with more than they receive, 7 are considered quote-unquote blue states. But there's a problem with this scenario. While these states may be fine for a while, they still need federal funding to stay afloat long term. And considering those two simple factors, a trial separation wouldn't really work. So then what about a full divorce, i.e. secession? Well, aside from the fact that secession isn't constitutionally allowed, it would at best bring about a fight over who gets to keep the nukes located in the seceding states, and at worst, a full-blown civil war, again over the nukes plus the economies and resources of the seceding states, especially California, who is currently the fourth largest economy in the entire world ahead of Japan. But since it's my birthday, let's get sloppy and discuss divorce. We could assume that the most stable children in the marriage, the western states and New England, along with Pennsylvania, would be the first to try and leave. Maybe the western states align with their cool, totally non-Pooh Bear-shaped Uncle G. The northern states I can see aligning with their rich aunt who takes you skiing every year. Or both coasts could simply go live with their uncle in the north. Maybe he'll even take them fishing in Quebec.
Lot of good fishing in Quebec.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, as for, let's call them the middle children, they would get along fine for a while until they remembered how much their coastal siblings contributed to their well-being. Sure, they might get along fine financially if they joined up with their oil tycoon uncle in the south, but he's a bit manipulative and already tried to invade your cool cousin, Chicago. That one was Chicago.
Dude, are you losing the thread of this already?
No, I just wanted to clarify to half of the country that they will likely get stuck in the overly religious dad group if states decide to start jumping ship. My very important point is, divorces are messy, and considering every state has a myriad of political affiliations amongst its citizens, it's safe to assume the general population of these United States would be far from keen on this idea. So then, how can we fix this national relationship? Maybe we just need to go to therapy. Or maybe we just need an open marriage for a bit. I hear it's all the rage these days. Dakota Johnson made a whole movie about it, and her dad was on Nash Bridges.
No one remembers that show.
Cheech Marin does.
Not even him.
Irregardless, it's my birthday and America's birthday, and I don't want the country to get divorced, nor should it. Are we as a nation stronger together? Yes. Has our nation accomplished amazing things? Another resounding yes. Would the world economy collapse as a result of our country's and therefore our currency's failure? Also yes, and likely the main reason the nation won't fail. What are these billionaires going to do? Use BRICS bucks? Please. Listen, my friends, these United States have lasted for 250 years and can last 250 more under responsible and rational leadership that treats the people with respect, dignity, and compassion. And if the last 250 years are any example of what leadership works best to move the country forward, it is obviously not that of conservatives with their never-ending attempts to divide the American people. With Republican presidents like Reagan and Trump at the helm, we've seen the scapegoating of people their ilk considers as others to distract from the policies that only benefit the wealthy few like myself. I, of course, have personally relished every billion I made thanks to conservatives, but as our viewers know, I am now so wealthy that the number doesn't even matter. So, much like Tom Steyer, I can now afford to have morals and live a happy new life as an American progressive. Not just because I wish to be liked by everyone, or because progressives throw way cooler parties, but the progressive wish list of political policies would leave our nation flush with cash. Progressive leadership has brought our country one baby step closer to equity and equality for all Americans every time they are in charge, while conservatives use their political power to enrich their donors while reducing the number of voters and stripping away the rights of those they find different. If the American people want to see a brighter future for themselves and their loved ones, there is no time to waste. The current commander-in-chief and his gaggle of ghouls are no match for we, the American people. Our strength comes from our numbers, our passion, and our resolve. Day after day, people are waking up to what has been fed to them as their new normal and making the decision to reject it. I challenge you, my friends, to not fall for the distraction of othering individuals and their groups. The Epstein class of these United States is beginning to crack and will be overcome by the people sooner or later. And it's okay if you're fresh out of faith in our nation and its people. I, Theb A Stard, the embodiment of and only hope for America, have enough faith and hope to go around. I won't even charge you for it, but I will ask that when the time comes, you vote and make your voice heard. Resting under complacency may feel good in the moment, at least until you realize you're resting under the boots of billionaire bastards. So what do you say, America? Do you want to give this union another shot and stay together for the kids? I don't know about you, but the answer to that tough question doesn't seem to be that difficult. This has been Tough Questions.
It's America, the podcast.
America's made possible by American imperialism. Manifest your destiny in any country you want. Just be sure to bring back some crude oil or some of those cool cell phone making rocks. American imperialism, available wherever freedom is sold.
It's America, the podcast.
Do you think adding some of the territories as states would help the U.S. grow in a positive way?
Oh, probably. I'm a big fan of all of them. Believe it or not, I'm actually pro adding Venezuela and Greenland as states as well.
Wait, what? Why? Oh, right, never mind, because of the resources. Can't you ever not do a capitalism for just like a day?
If I did, I believe I would wither up and die like a Nazgul. So I'll just stick with owning stakes in essentially every industry here and abroad. I'm hearing good things about the renewables industry now that America's oil supply is drying up, but that economic disaster is a subject for a later episode. For now, Timothy, you, me, and the rest of the American people must move forward into our 250th year as a nation. Will we survive? Only time and the will of the American people will tell. I've been your host, Theb A Stard, the embodiment of and only hope for America, and you've been watching America, the podcast, the animated series. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to this channel and wherever you get your podcasts. I will be in your eyes and ears again in 2 weeks with another perfect cartoon episode. Thanks for watching, my fellow Americans. For now, and as always, good night, good fight, and happy birthday, America!
It's America, the podcast.